With a 5-week gap between the end of summer meal programs and the beginning of the school year, concerns have been raised about families with limited means and ensuring that children receive adequate nutrition during this period. Harvest for Kids is a community effort to support Bennington's children. Food distributions will be offered to families with children during the month of August. Foods will include pantry staples such as milk and bread, as well as kid-friendly snacks and fresh, ready-to-eat produce from Mighty Food Farm and other local farms. You're asking yourself, well, how does this Harvest for Kids work? Families will follow normal registration procedures at both the kitchen cupboard or Pownell Food Pantry. While all are welcome to receive food during a normal distribution, only families with children are eligible for Harvest for Kids food. Harvest for Kids distribution dates begin July 29th and end on September the 2nd. How can the community help with Harvest for Kids? Monetary donations are greatly appreciated. $12 provides a week's worth of supplemental food for a child. $60 can feed a child for an entire month. Volunteers are also needed for a variety of fun and engaging projects within this initiative.
All right, hi everyone. We're here to talk about Harvest for Kids, which is a new initiative in Bennington County to make sure that all children have access to nutritious foods during the month of August. So I think we'll kind of chat about it and give some details for people how they can be involved and how they can utilize this service. So the whole point of Harvest for Kids, like I said, is to provide extra foods to families with children during the month of August. So August is always a little bit of a tricky month for families as it is. Back to school expenses, clothes, shoes, books and backpacks, those costs really add up. So that combined with the fact that August is the only month in Bennington without any summer meal programs can really cause families to struggle.
And this year's a little different than most, right? So this year, because the elementary schools are all doing construction, school's going to start later. So it'll start after Labor Day, whereas normally it would start before, which means that this year, rather than, what is it normally, 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah.
So rather than 2 or 3 weeks, it's more like 4 or 5 weeks that these kids that rely on either summer meals or school meals, because our schools all get free breakfast and lunch, won't have access to that supplementary food program.
So the Abbey Group does a really great job throughout the school year and into the beginning of the summer to provide meals for students. In the month of July alone, they provide 22,000 meals for area children. So they do a great job, and we're just really looking to boost up August to make sure that continues. So Harvest for Kids isn't a meal program, but we're providing extra groceries to families so that they can sort of bridge the gap into the school year. So we have a lot of community partners on board. We've been really excited with the response so far. The Alliance for Community Transformations is on board, which is great. We have a couple AmeriCorps Vistas helping us out. Bennington College has been really instrumental in organizing. This whole idea came out of the food clinic
At Kappa every week, or every month rather.
So that group that meets identified this as a need and figured out how to put boots on the ground and to get something done about it. The Bennington County Regional Commission has been helping out, along with Mighty Food Farm, who's providing some produce for us. Southern Vermont Medical Center has provided some food as well as books to sort of supplement this food that we're giving out, so that the children's minds will be fed as well as their bodies. United Way has been really helpful as well. If you want to talk about what they're doing, is exciting.
So it's super, super exciting. United Way is offering a 1-to-1 match for anyone that donates to Harvest for Kids through our challenge period, as we're calling it. And so anyone that wants to donate, say you went online and you donated $5 to Harvest for Kids, or let's say you donated $60 because you wanted to fund food for one child for the entire month. United Way would then go and see that you donated $60 and you put that your team name was United Way, they'll donate another $60 on top of that. So it's a really, really wonderful way for donations to add up.
So you can really double your impact that way. And then we also are really thankful to the Vermont Food Bank for providing food, which they do throughout the year. They do great work all of the time. And we're also excited that Aldi, we applied for some funding through their Aldi Giving program. So we'll have some money for food to go and purchase food from our local Aldi, $5,000, which is pretty, works its
Good
way
chunk of
towards
change.
our goal for fundraising is $15,000, and I think we're well on our way to meet that, but we still do have some need there to provide the food and the materials to help support this program. So I'd like to talk a little bit just about how it's going to work for consumers. So people who want to utilize this service, think it sounds great and that they could use maybe a little help making sure that all members of their family have access to food. The Kitchen Cupboard in Bennington will be holding distributions during our normal distribution hours and having these foods available for families with children. Also, Oak Hill Children's Center in Pownell, which is located at 72 Schoolhouse Road in Pownell, they will be having distributions every Saturday from July 29th through September 2nd from 12 to 1 p.m. And that July 29th through September 2nd is the duration of Harvest for Kids. So the food that will be offered will all be nutritious and hopefully appealing to children. We know they can be a little bit picky, so we're trying to make it attractive. So we'll have pantry staples for the family like milk and bread and eggs, and then also some snack items for kids. We're going to be preparing some produce from Mighty Food Farm and hopefully some other local farms in a way that make it attractive for children to snack on those items rather than to reach for a bag of chips or something like that. If they have carrot sticks that are already and cut up, they'll be more likely to reach for that. So we're really excited to sort of include some sort of behind the scenes education for people about nutrition, give some little recipe cards. We're not looking to preach to anyone, but just to provide some nice healthy foods and in a fun atmosphere. I think people will enjoy coming to the Kitchen Cupboard and also Oak Hill Children's Center. Really great volunteers staff it.
Speaking of volunteers.
Yes.
So throughout the month of August, and maybe even before, are we looking for volunteers beforehand?
It would be helpful.
Okay, so we need folks, if you're interested in getting involved but aren't able to donate, would rather spend your time being helpful with your hands, I guess. But if you want to get involved, you can, what are the options? You can either transport food, you can help us chop veggies and produce, so,
It'd be fun.
prepping those carrot sticks and celery sticks. There's an opportunity to create programming and help with those sort of nutrition cards, making fun activities for kids to do. What else is there?
So we'll want some attractive displays for people. So that would be helpful for extra volunteers during typical distributions to sort of man the Harvest for Kids station. That would definitely be great. Really, any talent or treasure that people have, we're looking for it. So we won't turn anyone down. I think what a great opportunity to meet some new people and be involved in your community. Sort of see what's going on at the Kitchen Cupboard and Oak Hill Children's Center. They've sort of partnered with the Pownell Food Pantry to make sure that these children are getting the right nutrition for this month. So we're thankful to them as well. Plenty of room for volunteers. And I mean, when else can you take a gift card and go to Aldi and just go shopping? I mean, I think that's going to be a lot of fun to make sure that we're staying within our budget and getting all of the right foods that people will be happy to receive.
Is that what do you just go to Aldi and purchase food?
I think so. We just got the notice today that we got the funding, but it will be a gift card.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, I love shopping at Aldi, so it'd be pretty
Yeah.
fun. So yeah, we mentioned some of the foods that will be available. With our rough budget, we were looking at roughly $12, $13 per child per week. So that equates to, for the 5-week session of Harvest for Kids, around $60 per child for the entire session. And then from there, you can do the math, $600 to feed 10 children for the session, and $1,200 to feed 20, which is roughly the size of a classroom. So if you want to visualize it that way, that's definitely helpful.
Yeah, so in case you're wondering, Rory has been largely in charge of coordinating volunteers and most of the food distribution logistics, of the planning of what kinds of food and where to get it and who's involved in that portion. I worked a lot on coordinating teams, which we haven't mentioned yet. So we are currently in the thick of it. We have different community partners coming forward to form teams that will then fundraise. And so each team has a team captain, because we like our kitschy names, they're fun. And team captains, sorry, distractions. Team captains are responsible for coordinating their team members. So you go to your workplace, and so I work at the Bennington County Regional Commission, and so I would go into my office and say, hey guys, who wants to join my fundraising team? And say all 12 of them want to join, and together we think we can raise $600, because 600 by 12 is not that much. So each of us would go out and ask our personal networks if they could donate to this really wonderful cause. Or you can do it yourself and say, like, I don't have time to fundraise, but I know I can give you $50, so here's $50. I would be the team captain, and so I would collect those donations, help my team, inspire them in any way possible, and we could plan different fundraisers, whatever it may be, all the while keeping track of who has donated and how to contact them. So at the end we can send out giant thank you notes.
Yes.
Physically giant thank you notes. And then at the end of the challenge, which is the end of this month, so we're going through, are there 31 days in July or 30?
31.
31.
Yep.
31 days in
rhyme.
July. So by July, after July 1st, everyone who is a team captain would then forward that information onto me. And so I'll collect the names of who has donated, which teams have raised how much money, and we'll have a big celebration and announce which team raised the most money. And hopefully there'll be some sort of prize, or maybe it's just a big old hug.
Good feeling.
Good feelings, yeah. And so if you'd like to form teams, we are still doing that. We're encouraging everyone to register their teams online and then let us know what your fundraising goal is. It's not a hard and fast number. If you don't hit it, it's okay. We'll still love you for it. But it's just nice to get an idea of how much more we need to raise and what we're looking at, what we're expecting, so we can start planning purchases.
Very good. So it's pretty exciting. I don't know if you want to give your contact information for people.
Yeah, sure. So living on the edge here, you can either call me or email me. My phone number, which I'm hoping will maybe show up at the bottom of your screen, is 802-442-0713, extension 9. You might get my voicemail. I will call you back. And email is mmarocco, so it's MMARROCCO@bcrcvt.org. Anytime, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you're looking to start a team or looking for how to donate, I can help you with either of those, whether it be cash check or internet. We do internet, which is exciting.
So you can go to benningtoncares.org/BC/harvest for more information, or to make just a one-time quick donation. So, we hope that you'll visit that site. We also do have a Facebook page, Harvest for Kids Bennington. So yeah, we're really hoping to bring more people on board. And I think that's what's really so exciting about this initiative is it's not a program of GBICS or of the Kitchen Cupboard or of ACT. It's everyone coming together to meet this very specific need for Bennington's children. And for anyone who's maybe a little hesitant and is thinking to themselves, well, maybe someone has it worse off than me. Maybe I don't qualify for this. We're not going to ask for any proof of income or residency. If you tell us you have 4 children, you get food for 4 children. So there shouldn't be too many hurdles for people to access this. And we really reassure people that we're all in this together, and you don't need to feel self-conscious about coming to participate. If you have questions about transportation specifically, I know maybe there's some families in Woodford who are thinking, gosh, everything is always so far away from where I live. You can call 802-379-0149, and we'll figure out how to get this food to you, whether it's a bus voucher or something else. We really want to make sure everyone can access this. And if you would like to contact me directly, you can reach out to me via email at benkitchencupboard@gmail.com, and that's at the bottom of your screen as well. Yeah.
So what you touched on was that this is a community-driven initiative, and I think that's super, super exciting. Were you at that meeting where this started?
I was.
Okay, so we went to the food clinic meeting at Kappa at Bennington College, which is this group of people who work in food systems, whether they be farmers. There's a couple of students who are really interested in food up at the college, folks from the Kitchen Cupboard, from, all over. The farmers market, anyone with an interest in food tends to come to these meetings, and over time, different issues come up. It's a lot of networking, but at that one meeting in particular, it was brought to our attention that the month of August this year was going to be really hard. And what could we do? And, well-intentioned people and good Vermonters, there was really this excitement to be active, to be doing something. And so this idea came up of how do we raise money to supplement the things that already exist, rather than starting a new organization and a new chapter of this or that. Like, we are just people who can speak for ourselves, but we want to do something helpful for our community. And I'm new to Bennington. I've been here about 1.5 years, and I think that's so cool that as much as people may say that there's a lot of negativity, I see so many folks that come together and want to do good for their neighbors, which you don't see everywhere, and it's really cool. And so we have this laundry list of organizations that are involved, but really those are people that stepped up and said, I want to help, and my employer is letting me do this. And that's super cool.
It is great.
Yeah.
So we know, the Kitchen Cupboard and the Pownell Food Pantry and other food sites around town are doing this work year-round. So this is just a supplemental deal. If you don't have children and you still are looking to access food, you're still definitely welcome to come to any of the Kitchen Cupboard or Pownell Food Pantry distributions to receive, plenty of food for what you need. This is just an extra special little thing for the kids in Bennington, and I think that they deserve that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pretty good cause, and we hope you'll get involved in whatever way fits your needs and your talents. Yeah.
So we're about out of time. So to recap, if you'd like to get involved, your options are to start a team. And you could start a team on July 29th. I'm okay with that. Fundraise for 3 days. Sounds great. You can volunteer, and you talk to Rory about volunteering. Or you could go online and donate or send a check. Checks can be made out to GBICS, GBICS/harvest. And
can be mailed to
do you know the address?
P.O. Box 702, Bennington, Vermont, 05201. And if none of those options sound good to you, we're hopeful that people will at least start talking about this issue, talk about Harvest for Kids and how great it is that community organizations have come together to do something really, really positive, and about the broader issue of food insecurity in our region. It's definitely a pressing issue all months of the year, especially August. So to get that topic on people's minds is definitely a bonus for this.
With a 5-week gap between the end of summer meal programs and the beginning of the school year, concerns have been raised about families with limited means and ensuring that children receive adequate nutrition during this period. Harvest for Kids is a community effort to support Bennington's children. Food distributions will be offered to families with children during the month of August. Foods will include pantry staples such as milk and bread, as well as kid-friendly snacks and fresh, ready-to-eat produce from Mighty Food Farm and other local farms. You're asking yourself, well, how does this Harvest for Kids work? Families will follow normal registration procedures at both the kitchen cupboard or Pownell Food Pantry. While all are welcome to receive food during a normal distribution, only families with children are eligible for Harvest for Kids food. Harvest for Kids distribution dates begin July 29th and end on September the 2nd. How can the community help with Harvest for Kids? Monetary donations are greatly appreciated. $12 provides a week's worth of supplemental food for a child. $60 can feed a child for an entire month. Volunteers are also needed for a variety of fun and engaging projects within this initiative.